Hey guys, Kevin back from Sticks and Stones wood carving with excuse me, with the next video on wood carving tools that you're going to need. Alright, we covered a detail knife, we covered a V-tool. Next thing in your box, what you should have is a couple of different size gouges. Okay, now gouges, in case you're not familiar with a gouge, this right here would be a gouge. Okay, do you see the sweep on that U shape there, right? Gouges hog out a lot more wood. They're great for putting valleys and things. This is a smaller type gouge. This is a micro gouge. Sorry, I'll try and back up so it focuses. Okay, and they're scoopers basically. Okay, and here's another one. All right, and again, these right here are just my little flex cut gouges. I like to use flex cut for YouTube videos because you can find them easy. They're fairly cheap for decent quality tools. Alright, so you can remember that name and pick up some flex cuts. You can buy them one at a time on eBay from a couple of dealers even, so it's a good way to start your carving box, alright, if you don't have that many tools. Let me show you a little example of how to use a gouge. We're going back to our little piece we've been doing some cuts on. What I'm going to do is with this gouge is I'm going to take it and I'm just going to push it straight in, alright, like that, and then come underneath it and carve up, alright. And the big thing about a gouge, sometimes things will break off, don't worry, because we're going to, not really trying to make a carving here, I'm showing you the way these tools cut, alright. But the big thing about a gouge is, whatever shape that gouge is, that's the shape the cut's going to be, okay. And if I turn it upside down, for instance, and I'm making a nose here, and I dig that in, right, and then I scoop out underneath it, right, it's going to make that upside down cut, alright. If I go to the other side, and I push it in, and then I scoop it from underneath, right, it's going to make an upside down cut. Also, coming up from the side like this, if I came straight up on each side, it's got that rounded sweep to it. So I can shape noses really good with it and come up to the top here, alright, and just come across. It's going to make that rounded cut, alright. So we're not really covering how to do all this as far as carving a wood spirit in this video, but you've seen me do it a bunch of times in other videos. I'm just covering the gouge right now. Alright, so another tip on the gouge, alright, and applications for it, like I said, in doing noses, it's really nice. If I took this gouge, let me just set this up for a minute a little bit, and I flipped it over, and I inverted it, and I have a carving like this, and I wanted to make nostrils in the nose, I would flip it over, and those wings of the nose, I would just push it in. And again, the circle, alright, on that gouge is going to make a really nice, let me do the other one here, round wing of the nose, right? You can cut out from underneath there. It's a quick, easy way to get some noses started, right? And of course you have to clean this up and play with it some. But the gouge itself, again, the shape of the sweep on that gouge is going to dictate the shape of whatever cut you're going to do. That's going to make that exact shaped cut, okay? And they have some gouges that are bigger, some that are smaller. There's all kinds of different size gouges. Collect many different types of them, so you always have what you need in your box, okay? And that's what you can do with gouges. Again, they come very big for when you want to do beard here, alright? You can make some really big valleys, alright? And then run your V-tool through it, alright? And they come very, very small. So when you want to get in those tight spots, for instance, hogging out a little nostril here, okay? Alright? So, that's what gouges do. For the most part, there's a lot of uses, and there's a couple right there for you. Even going up right here in between the eyebrows. Alright, making a little valley and then separating the eyebrows with your knife or whatever. And, you know, all kinds of different applications. And that's another tool you definitely want in your box. Different sizes, collect them as you go, okay? And that should give you an idea what you can do with gouges, another important tool you need in your wood carving toolbox. See you next video.